Hello students, welcome back. I am Kunal. Today I am here with very short yet very meaningful poem composed by Robert Frost, Fire and Ice. By the end of this video, you will be able to answer all the questions asked in CBSE exams. You will be able to learn about the poetic devices and you will be able to know each and everything about this poem. So keep on watching this video completely till end. Let's start with the heading of the poem, Fire and Ice. One of the greatest creation, a very short poem by Robert Frost, one of the most reputed and renowned poets and the writer, author of United States. He also spent some time in United Kingdom, that is England. And finally, he receives 3 Pulitzer Awards, which is really a very outstanding and remarkable performance for any person related to the literature world. Fire and Ice has very contradictory meaning, and it's an antithesis. That means when two things which are contradictory put together, that is called antithesis. So, make it more emphatic, the poet has used fire and ice of this poem, and fire and ice are two symbolic things. Here in this poem you will find that fire represents desire, a wish or want or desire to grab something, to have something, to possess something, to capture something. And the another thing is ice, that here represents hatred, hate, aversion to something, that is ice. Now let's discuss the structure of the poem. Structure of the poem is very important to understand what ideas and why the poet wants to convey something, that is mentioned here. Through the rhyme schemes used in this poem, and this poem has 2 stanzas. In the prose form, when any paragraph, it is called paragraph, and in poems we call it stanza. This poem is divided into 2 stanzas. The stanza number 1 is having 4 lines, and the stanza number 2 is having 5 lines already. So second stanza have 5 lines and the first stanza have 4 lines. Any poem having a stanza of 4 lines is called quatrain. 4-line stanzas are called quatrain, Quatrain. And the second stanza having 5 lines will be called quintet. So the rhyme scheme which has been used in this poem is, here you can see at the end of the sentence, A, B, A, then in the second stanza, B, C, B, C, B. So this is the rhyme scheme used by the poet. We all know that after birth, death is certain. When something begins, it has to end someday. World is ephemeral, it is short-lived. The same idea dominated the mind of the poet, and he started writing about the end or the apocalypse of the earth. Apocalypse, that means day of judgment, or in Hindi we call it Pralay ka din, and in Islam it is called Qayamat ka Raat. So he has imagined about that day when the world will end. But what will be the reason of the end? How it will end? What will be the tool? What will be the thing which will become the reason of the end of the earth? This is very symbolically and very meaningfully described in this poem in a very short and effective manner. So the first lines you can see here. I would like to request to read the first 4 lines of this poem. Yeah.
Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire.
Yes. Poet has this opinion that some people, some even scientists are researching on this topic, how the earth will end. So poet says that some people have this idea that the world will end in fire. We all know the evolution of earth some 4.5 billion years ago was also due to fire. So he has this apprehension that world may end in fire. Here fire means desire. The world will end due to excessive possessive ideas and nature of the human being. But there are some people who think that it may end in ice, that it can end due to hatred and hate. Then in the third and fourth lines, the poet presents his own ideas that whatever he has learned, whatever the experience he has, whatever he has tasted about the desire, he knows, he stands with those people, he supports the idea of those people who think that this earth will end in fire, that earth will end in desire. So he has this opinion. In the first stanza, you can see that there are some words which are underlined. That, for example, some say, the first line begins with some say, and even the second line begins with some say. That means such expressions when 2 lines start with the same word, or even more lines when starts with the same word, then we call it anaphora, and as a poetic device or figures of speech. So the first 2 lines also represent their alliteration also. Some say because the first letters are consonants, some say, and these 2 words are alliteration also, and they are representing anaphora too. In ice, this is assonance. In ice is an example of assonance. Assonance is something like alliteration when a vowel sound is produced at any point in any subject, sometime at the beginning of the word, sometime the middle of the word, and sometime it may appear from the end of the word. So you can see in ice, this is an example of assonance, and in the last 4th line we also saw those who hold. So here O word is dominating, who, though, who, hold. So here O word is dominating. So in this line, the 4th line, the assonance has been again used. So let's come to the second stanza. Here in the first stanza, the poet is like a child when someone asks a child, who loves you more, your mom or your dad? Then the poet is sometime stays in dilemma, and then he answers. Some child may answer dad, some child may answer mom, But there are some smart kids who says both. My mom and my dad both loves me equally. I am apple of their eyes. So the poet is also behaving in the same manner. In the first stanza, he has declared that he stands with those people who are having the idea that world will end in fire, that is desire. But in the second stanza, he talks about that ice is equally strong to end the world. So let's see the poetic devices and the meaning, the deep and the hidden meanings of the literal sentences. So the second stanza, please.
But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice.
Okay. In the fifth line, in the beginning of the second stanza, he says, if it has to perish twice, that means if here the word, notice the word perish, that means demise, end of something, that is death or end of the earth. That means if this world has to end twice. This is very illogical thing which he has put, and so this is also a figures of speech which we call paradox. When two illogical things which is difficult to understand and believe is put in a such manner, here he says if it has to end twice, we cannot imagine that earth will end twice. One end is enough, so there is no need of two ends. Still he says, to prove his point, if it has to perish twice, matlab once he has already said कि it will end in desire, and second he wants to prove that hate is also equally strong and is able to destroy, annihilate or finish this world. And he says he even the ice will be or the hate will be a great tool to finish this world. Suffice means here in the last line, the last word is suffice. That means end. So in the second stanza, he concludes that he has this opinion also, whatever I know about the ice, that even ice is strong enough, is sufficient, is capable to finish this world, to finish this planet, to finish this earth, and it may bring a catastrophic end of the world, that is hatred. This is very clearly found in these days. We can see that the strong feeling or the desire to grab something, all the wars in the history has taken place due to this desire of grabbing and capturing the things. Even nowadays in the corona, the strong desire of becoming the world's superpower in economy and in other fields. China has spread something like COVID-19, and this strong desire is going to be a very, very devastating thing for the earth. Similarly, the hatred is equally strong enough to finish this world. So you can see here in the first two lines one more poetic device, enjambment is used. Enjambment is something when one line continues to two lines or three lines in a poetic line, and there is no comma or poetic, there is no punctuation mark, and one line is flowing to the other line, third line. So we have 7, 8 and 9th line. Also there is no mark of punctuation. Basically this is one sentence but very beautifully arranged in for a poetic line. So this enjambment fulfills the purpose of expressing the ideas, and so the Robert Frost has very strongly and very meaningfully he has expressed, and basically he wants to convey something. He wants to warn the human being about these two bad things which are very, very dangerous for humankind. They are desire and hatred. Thank you. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next video. And I would also request you one thing. If you are having difficulty understanding the things in English, you may write me back in your comment section that I should include something, some sentences or some expression or some explanation in Hindi also. If you feel like that, feel free to write these things in comment box. I will just try to mend myself according to your choice so that you could understand the things better. And also don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. Thank you. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.